Shalom, shalom. Man, but to do it, fucking Jake wanna be nosing. And hey, you gotta get this truth in. Give me a couple minutes before I get started. Before we get into this lesson. I ain't got the stick today. Kind of windy. But hey, like what's the name say? X gonna give it to you. But the Lord gonna give it to you. You know? He gonna give it to you. So without further ado, let's get into it. Or get in, started. Back out here Friday. Things are heating up. Troops are being deployed to New Orleans. It's all for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. They coming around y'all asses up, man. Yeah, they getting training right now. Oh, like we for illegals. Man, it was for illegals. Now it's for you urbanites. Huh? Keyword urban areas. So the Pentagon, or you can't call it the Pentagon. Well, you can call it the Pentagon, but the Department of War is gearing up for war with you people in the city. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You're the target. You know? You already said you can't say that N word. I'm talking about Trump. There's two N words you can't say. It's nuclear and nigger. You know? But he really wanna say he wanna kill niggas, man, when you get down to it. When you get through the fluff, all the political jargon, you know? Because, it's looking like this man is not Nero, Nero in the reincarnation, man. And if you read the account of Nero, he hated you so-called Negroes, man. You know, he hated you Israelites. So he's back in the reincarnation. We're gonna get into this lesson. You know? It's Isaiah 30 and 8. It says, "Now go write it before them in a table, and in a note, and note it in a book, which is the Bible, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever." So this book is gonna be used forever and ever, man. This Bible is never going away, ever. You know, it's, there's a reason why it's always been the all-time #1 bestseller, man. It ain't because it's your favorite Goosebumps novel, man. It ain't another edition of Harry Potter, man. There's a reason why this book is #1 at all times. It says, that this is a rebellious people, lying children that would not hear the law of Yahweh. So yeah, Israelites, man, you would not hear the words of this book. You know, you want to go do things your own way, man. And now look at you at the bottom of the barrel, man. You know, they say last hired, first fired. You know? Broken homes, got the jailhouses filled. Every time you look around, somebody fucking dropping dead. You know, all because you didn't want to follow the law, man. So now you immersed in curses, man. You know, you go to Deuteronomy 28, man, and it tells you, man, if you do this, this, and that, you're gonna have the blessings. But if you don't do this, that, and that, you're gonna have the curses. And you know niggas, man, gotta have it the hard way, man. Now look at us. All fucked up. So yeah, Jake is very rebellious, man. Like, well, you know, we come to preach you the truth. You know, you need to start keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your abilities here in this captivity. We ain't got to follow the law. That, that, what pastor tell them? You ain't got to keep the law. You know. So that's what pastor tell you, man. Well, he'll tell you to put money in that plate, though. You know. He'll tell you put money in that collection plate. Now, that's part of the law. Jesus died for our sins. You ain't got to keep that law no more. Just like a nigga, right? So yeah, we make Sunday his Sabbath day, which is supposed to be a day of rest. You know? So our people flock to that. They're into that lawlessness, man. You know, they always want to be like the heathen, man. Always. Lawless, perverse, you know? Rebel, you know? And this is why we're in the situation we in now, man. Want to freestyle and do your things your own way. What's that? You got your own free will, so to speak, which is a lie. You don't have free will. You got liberty to do shit. You don't have your own free will, man. Is anybody gonna come arrest this damn dope head? Just nodding out for damn. Well, the law you need. Verse 10, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us bright things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. That's what I want to hear, man. I want to hear the good stuff. You ain't got to keep the law. You got free will. You tell the woman, you don't need a man. I don't need no man. That's an inside joke there. I don't need no man. You know? You know, put the pork down. You know, Stop eating that abominable food, the catfish, shrimp, and they don't want to hear that, man. They want to hear, where can I get some boudin from? Some crawfish.
You'll need to connect to a Wi-Fi network first.
You know, they want to hear where they can get some damn boudin, crawfish, some damn crabs from. So this is a rebellious people, you know, and don't talk about the chicharrones, man. I was in the so-called Latino store the other day, and they had pork skins bigger than my damn arm in them. I was mesmerized how big the fucking pork skin was. I was like, they eating this shit? I couldn't believe it. I ain't never seen pork skins that damn big, man. And they thick too. I don't see how they eat it. Like you need a damn saw just to cut it in half, man. That's our people, though, man. Anything wicked, they gonna make the best out of it. Matter of fact, they gonna eventually perfect it, man. They gonna eventually perfect it. And it look like they mastered the damn chicharrones. I'm just sitting here looking and like, what the hell is this? Oh yeah, and I went to the other one, and that I went in there almost passed out. It just smelled like straight hog guts in there, man. Like chitlins or some shit. I'm like, what the hell are they eating in here? Selling. You know, I get nauseous. It reminds me when when I went to the so-called Negro place, man, up there in North Carolina. Man, I walked in there, almost passed out, man. The smell was so strong of just hog guts. I could barely. I was fucked up the whole day. You know, and that's our people, man. They eat it up, man. They love it. So they don't want to hear about they can't eat catfish, uh, boudin, any kind of pork. They don't even talk about rib tips, you know, or some pork chops. They liable to kill you dead over pork chops. You tell a nigga you can't have a pork chop, he liable to kill me on the spot, man. Judge, jury, and executioner. You know, so they want to hit the seats. You know, that America's gonna go on forever. That Trump really loves you. You know. You know he's you know he sees you as an equal. You know, they want to hear stuff like that. That, you know, like, oh yeah, he really working on them reparations for you. You know, he's gonna come around to it eventually. You know, that's the type of shit they want to hear, man. So they turn their nose up at the word because you know it's truth. You gotta be held accountable for things, man. There gotta be some type of responsibility for it. But here in Babylon, you can get out of anything. You got the right amount of money, right amount of connections, you can get out of any damn thing. Anything. You hear me? Anything. So our people say, you know, they rather do that. You know? You know, they willing to be shot down in the streets, bottom of the barrel, you know. Women rather be whores. Men rather be gays, fags. You know, they'd rather be that than serve the Lord, man. And so the Lord say, "Hey, have a great time, man. Enjoy." You know, He say, "Enjoy," and I'm right along with him, man. Have a great old time, man. Because I could care less, really. You know, when I go home, I forget about everybody out here, man. As soon as I go to that door, and I turn that top lock. Well, I don't even wait that long. When I get in the car, and I turn that music on, I forget all about it. You know, it's like I was never down here. So I'm saying the same thing too. Enjoy. But soon you're gonna be crying and looking for me soon. You're gonna be crying and looking for the man of the Lord, man. And it's gonna be too late. Because President Taco is getting ready to unleash the, or they say unleash the Kraken. Getting ready to unleash the Kraken on you, man. On you so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans, man. You know, you about to be laying even with the ground. But like I said, man, they got to roll it out softly. They just can't all of a sudden, boom, martial law. You know, you'll buck up. You know, you'll rise up. You get angry. But if they slowly put that noose around your neck gently, you know, like, oh, try this on. Well, okay, that don't feel too bad. You know, it's a little rough right here. You know, I think I can live with it. You know, it's okay. It's all for crime. Okay, yeah, yeah. All right. Yeah, I want to get Tyrone out the hood anyway. I'm tired of that nigga. Right? You're like, okay. Yeah, I'm tired of Pedro. Okay, no problem. Next thing you know, boom, full martial law. Then they coming to get everybody. You know, the writing's on the wall, man. Writing's on the wall, like this fucking graffiti. The writing's on the wall, man. I'm about to say you can take that to the bank. They got a damn dollar sign right here with some money. Oh shit! The next thing you know, you're gonna be a martial law, and you so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans, you're gonna be in Jacob's trouble. And right then, you're gonna know you fucked up. You know, right then, once martial law declared, you're gonna know you fucked up. So the time now is to get out the country, man. While you still can, while the borders are still open, and you still can get on a plane to go somewhere.
Which place did we stay at?
But soon, everything's gonna be locked down, and you're gonna be stuck in these cities.
You're farther out. The other lady, yes. She did something.
And rounding you up, dragging you out of your house, spoiling your goods, putting you to death on spot. You're like, oh, I'm MAGA. They gonna say, I don't give a damn what you are, man. You ain't getting down with this new system. You pay no more with cryptocurrencies, with the money system that's coming. RFID microchip. You ain't with that, they're gonna put you to death. You know, and that's what we fastly approaching. But yeah, they got you all. Oh, it's for crime. You like, okay, yeah, all right, yeah. I'm tired of crime, which is all by design anyway. You know, you think they've been letting these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, especially so-called Negroes and Latinos. You think they've been helpless? They couldn't stop these people if they wanted to. Like they just so powerless. No, they just been letting these niggas act a fool, steadily building up that public opinion. And now you like, oh yeah, let's get rid of it. Now they got something to rule. You know, why else would they give them live ammunition? See, they steadily stepping it up. You know, troops to the streets, live ammunition. You know, now, oh, we need to do training in these urban areas. You know, the military need training. What fucking possible training could they use, man? They've been all over the world, killing, maiming. They got all kind of exercises yearly. What more training could they use, man? You know, we talking about some of the brightest minds on the planet. You know, these admirals and these generals and these think tanks, right? But they need some training though. Steadily feeding you the bullshit, and you steadily swallowing it, steadily. And then next thing you know, that noose done got real tight, you know. And then you done fucked up, man. They be like, oh, sorry, everybody got to go now, you know. Everybody got to get arrested. Yeah, you a terrorist. Yep. You believe in this? Yep, you a terrorist. You know. Or you don't like the new money system? Or you a terrorist? And that's what we fastly approaching, man. You know, they play on your mind. Oh, it's left, it's right, conservative, you know, liberal. You know, that's for you peons, man. To keep you distracted. And our people are totally distracted, man. You know? And next thing you know, it's gonna be a full rollout. Tanks in the street, airstrikes in your neighborhood, man. This shit's gonna be fucking boom, you know? You're gonna have a damn, what's that shit, the F-35 over your house, man, just fucking shooting sidewinder missiles in your damn block, man. It's gonna be some out of a damn, it's gonna be worse than a horror film, man. Worse, you know? You're gonna have NATO troops, UN troops rounding y'all asses up, man. The scriptures speak about how they're gonna spoil your goods, pull you out the house. And they're gonna take your food, your clothes, your woman, and your dog. And these gonna be good old U.S. troops too, man. These are going to be the ones you stand up for and put your hand over your heart for at these football games. Be the same woman. Putting you in the hole, pulling out of just mag dumps. All you hear is, you know? Can you imagine just your whole your whole block, you know, just being hit with an airstrike, man, a drone strike. You got a damn hellfire missile coming straight at your apartment complex, man. Scripture says it's gonna be like madmen sparing none. And you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, you ain't gonna stand a chance. It's primarily aimed at you, and they ain't gonna leave no stone unturned. Like they came in Katrina, and Katrina hit. They going from house to house. They're gonna do the same thing, and they ain't gonna ask you if you need help. You know, they're gonna say, take your ass out through that front door, wait in the front yard, and then they're gonna have everybody in the front yard, and then they're gonna go down the line, man. Mm, mm, mm. Or put y'all asses up against a wall and just mow you down, man. That's what's coming. Trump is starting to show his horns, man. And them fangs coming out. No, he ain't got nothing to lose, man. What does he have to lose? What does he have to lose? I mean, he already controlled by Israel, and the bankers tell him what to do. The Rothschilds, Rockefellers. So hey, like Tim DiBiase used to say, man, everybody has a price. Everybody has a price. And Trump price is whoever got the most bucks, get what they want, man. He the first I seen openly pay for play president. Everybody else try to hide it. Trump like, look, I need to he don't give a damn about none of that shit, man. It's all about getting paid. And when they get Trump off, he gonna go hold up down there at Mar-a-Lago, waiting up. As if he might fucking lead a country. We know he gonna hit that one of those underground bunkers, man. When that shit go down. He gonna be in fucking Cheyenne Mountain somewhere, watching everything in real time, man. Seeing you getting ran over by a tank. Shit going right off your shoulders, man. Getting your head shot right off your neck. Let's go to Jeremiah 50 and 33. Jeremiah 50 and 33. Thus says Yahweh, a host of armies, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were pressed together, and all them that took them captives held them fast and refused to let them go. Yeah, they refused to let you go. You know, no matter what, you still in captivity, Jake. But you're getting ready to go to a new form of slavery, man. You're about to be a digital slave, man. You see, Britain already released the digital ID. You know, you're about to be upgraded. You're about to be monitored, tracked, surveilled in real time, man. So you about to be a new slave, man. If you agree to this man's system, the beast system that's coming, you know, which eventually is the mark of the beast. You're going to be a digital slave, you know. And that's what this Jacob's trouble, the economy collapsing, civil war, race war, going to eventually lead to, man, the mark of the beast. You know, the man of the Lord, we're going to go through some shit, man. We're going to see a lot of things, too. You know? We're not just going to not witness some horrible, you know, events. Hey, we may just see a group of 15, 20 people, man, get mowed down, man. Just chopped down, full of holes. You know, you're going to hear the screams, the cries, you know. We're gonna hear all that, man. You're gonna hear your neighbor getting their ass dragged out of the house, man. You know? And as a man of Lord, you just gotta hold your spot, man. And just whatever happened to them, happened to them. You know, you don't be a hero. Because a hero ain't nothing but a sandwich. Hero ain't nothing but a sandwich, man. You know, you let the wicked get their reward. You know, you don't go out there with a gun and that, trying to rise up. Because it's gonna be militias rising up. You know, the scriptures speak about sedition of men. But you don't get involved with it. You know, the scriptures speak about how the Most High say He's gonna be our guide in that time of trouble. You know, so you just follow the way the Lord points out to you, man. And you're gonna know it's the Lord, man, when it's happening. But for the rest of you, you gotta get armed up, trained up, man. Especially for the 2/3 by the nation Israel, man. Y'all ain't gonna make it. All of y'all, you know, really ain't got no guns at all either. We see so-called white people, they be having like 50, 80 guns and shit. You know, all kind of ammunition stocked up. But you so-called Negro Latinos, man, y'all ain't got shit. You might got 2 or 3 guns and a box of shells, man. Maybe 2. I think I only saw one Jake. That guy, I think he's a former Marine or something. I saw him on YouTube once. He's steady stacking ammunition. He fucking had ammunition like up to the damn ceiling, damn near. That's like the only one I saw like that. But even he ain't gonna make it, man, without the Lord, man. Eventually, the Lord gonna catch up with you, and He gonna send you into the upper room, man. So yeah, the scripture say 50 and 33, Jeremiah 50 and 33. We're pressed together. Yeah, we're all pressed together. But a new form of oppression is on the horizon. It's on the horizon. Where you're gonna be property of the bankers, man. You know? You are going to be property of the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, you know? And if you get out of line, they're gonna turn your chip off. You get uppity, flip it. If you make it that far. I gotta put that in there. If you even make it to the far to get the microchip, you know, they're gonna turn your chip off. And then they're gonna come round you up, man. Because you're gonna be an unfit citizen, man. Your whole constitutional rights gonna go out the window in that day, man. You're gonna be under the New World Order. And whatever the bankers say, that's what goes. Even George Bush said, hey, the Constitution just a piece of paper. Man. That was his own, out of his own mouth, man. It was George Bush Jr., right? He said it's just a piece of paper. So that goes to show you how much they really care about the Constitution. So it's gonna be y'all asses, man. All these tough guys. We're gonna see how tough you are soon, man. We're gonna see how tough everybody is here real soon. Especially the nigga one. The nigga one been acting up lately, man. You see them all on YouTube. They got their guns, pulling guns out on people, shooting people. You gonna see. You gonna get a chance to use that gun, man, real soon. And some comeback type of shit. And let's see how good the aim is, man. When you coming against the damn U.S. military or NATO troops, UN troops, man, mercenaries, you gonna get a chance to see how good you are with that gun. But I got news for you. In the end, you lose, man. You lose. Even Joe Biden say, hey, you gotta have F-16s if you want to go against the U.S. military. You know. So if Joe Biden said that, he may be old and crazy, but he on to something. You know. He might be senile, but he got some moments of clarity. You know. You know. Every now and then he get it right. Because in the end, the military is gonna win, man. When it comes to martial law and Jacob's trouble, they're gonna put that fire out, man. Everybody's gonna go under this new world order that's still alive all over the world. But here in Babylon, America, there's gonna be a lot of carnage, mayhem, and death. We're already in a civil war. We're in a soft civil war right now. You got the left and the right going at each other, man. Going at each other necks. No pun intended. You know. You know. So you got the left and the right. It's like the left winning. The left is fighting. They don't sit on their hands and let shit slide. Man. The left about action. The right just want to get up here and hold Bibles and shit. And talking about the rule of law. But the left about putting your ass in the grave, man. And bashing your shit in with a brick. You know? So America's in a soft civil war, man. Eventually, the flame's gonna get hotter. And you people gonna be in the streets, neck to neck, tearing each other limb from limb. The race war brewing. That race war, that shit can pop off any day, man. Shit up there right now. That's it, 19 and 4. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord. And that cruel Lord, he's talking about Esau, Edom, but Trump is looking like that cruel Lord, man. He might as well say he's the Pharaoh, so to speak, here in spiritual Egypt. So Trump's a cruel Lord. If you don't know what I mean by that, then you need to go back and start looking at some damn news articles, man. Don't need me to tell you everything. It says, and a fierce king shall rule over them, says the Most High, Yahweh of hosts. So yeah, man, you've been given over into a cruel Lord, and now he's ready to unleash the troops on you in these urban cities. He already called you animals. You got animals shooting at the firefighters. So he's ready to put you down like an animal, man. And all this is code talk, like so-called Negroes, man. And Latinos, man. This is all code talk for you. And y'all just sit out there clapping. Oh, Trump, Trump, Trump. And the whole time, you like, man, I can't wait till they give me the call to, give me the word to declare martial law, man. Kill that. Hey, man, it's some beautiful times to be living in. The troops may be here, in a week or two? We've been saying this for 8 years, man. People over me been saying it for almost 40 years, man, that this day was coming. And lo and behold, you got troops on the streets, man, patrolling the streets of America. I've been saying it going on 8 years. I'm gonna do the spirit of Yahweh, of course, not on my own All because I was using the spirit to see it. Been telling you the troops were coming, man. And the apostles of GMS, man, they've been telling you for 40 plus years, man, that eventually martial law is coming. And Pete Hegseth, they said, hey, man, prepare for war. So they're getting in a war footing, man. There's no more time for peace. All you people out here just going to fucking restaurants, having a great old time, and your U.S. government just declared war, man, on you. You know? That's why they say Americans are so damn stupid, man. You fucking Americans just don't get it. You supposed to be up in arms, man. Here it is. The Department of War just declared war on you, and all you can think about is going out to eat, man, having a good time. You know? You're supposed to be scrambling, trying to get some plans together to get the fuck out the country. You know? But you Americans, you know, you like it the hard way too, man. The thing is, you become so fat and docile, you ready for the slaughter, man. You like cattle that been fed, and now you ready for the slaughter, man. You're like, oh, that'll never happen in America. That won't happen here. You know, it's against the Constitution. You know. Well, you about to find out how much they follow that Constitution, man. And they said they told them generals and admirals get on board or get the fuck out. And they ain't talking about going to war with Iraq, with Iran. I mean, they talking about going to war with you. You the people live in the cities, you know, in these urban areas. You public enemy number one. And you see Trump came up there right behind Pete and backed him up. Yes, let's get ready for war. If you didn't hear Pete the first time. So hey man, these some beautiful times we living in. You know? And you gonna freak out when you hear your neighbor next door screaming, yelling at the top of their lungs, man. Talk about no, don't shoot, don't shoot. No, you gonna hear huh? You gonna freak the fuck out. You know, they gonna drag your ass out that house. You know, you got one troop on that and the other side, they drag your ass out of the house, throwing you in that front yard and sticking that barrel in your damn face. You're a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American. That's your ass. Once you see the Humvee pull outside, man, that's your ass. You know? They're gonna get on top of them Humvees with the miniguns and wherever they see walking, They just fucking have at it, man. Gonna be a lot of Swiss cheese going on, man. You know? Now everybody in the know are saying, hey man, this is it. This is officially it. Officially it. You know? People who've been studying this for years, man. You know, military movements, posturing, you know, ex-generals, you know, judges, former judges, you know? And then they're all saying, this is not good, man. That speech, what was it, on Monday or Tuesday? Tuesday, I believe, saying this is not good. It was so bad that one of the Air Force generals, I believe, he retired, man. He said, I gotta get out. This shit crazy. In other words, because believe me, they got the real memo once the cameras went off. You know, they got the cameras go off, kick the press out, they get that slideshow going, get that laser pointer. Like, yeah, this is the enemy. Yeah, they live in this city, you know, Memphis, New Orleans. You know, we plan to go in eventually and just eradicate the ass. You know, the military is coming to kill, man. They ain't coming to hold your hand. You know, first they eased the National Guard in there. You know, oh, the Guard ain't bad. But now he talking about U.S. military troops, man. We talking about trained killers. Yeah. All they want to do is kill, man. And you American people are the target, man. It's just that simple. And Trump's that cruel lord, man. You know. And hey, man, the water Yahabashimi shot for that. We've been waiting for this thing to pop off for a while. I've been in it 8 years. So I can only imagine with the apostles of GMS, man. They've been going on 40, some 35, some 40 years. And that day is finally has arrived, man. Beginning stages of all this, you know, is coming to a head, man. You know, and we can see it in live time, man. We'll actually be able to see, you know, I'll be able to see the troops here very shortly, man. You know, it ain't gonna happen all at one time. You know, they got to ease them in there, man. So you don't get too spooked. You know, they're gonna come round up some Leroys and Tyrones and stuff like that, and some Pedros to make you feel good. But eventually, they're gonna run out of niggas to lock up, man. You know, they're gonna run out of amigos to round up. And who left in? Everybody else, man. You know? And it's beautiful, man. It is fucking beautiful. Cause hey, that tells me we almost out of here, man. We are almost out of here. Soon I won't be out here on the block, man. I'm getting closer and closer every day not being out here. I'm loving it. You know, it's gonna be a day where I'm gonna be off the block, and I can't wait. You know, so let me get into this JT, man. I'm gonna get a little bit of this JT. Well, let me go back to Hosea. I might stick to the script. Hosea 12:7. He is a merchant. The balance of the seat are in his hand. He loveth to oppress. So yeah, that new form of oppression already started in Britain. The digital ID. So Esau's always finding a new way to oppress your ass. And once you get that RFID microchip in you, man, that's the ultimate form of oppression. You've been conquered. You surrendered. A lot of y'all gonna surrender. But you're gonna want the lights to come back on, the food trucks to start running. You're gonna want a nice hot shower, a nice warm meal. Hot meal, warm meal. You're gonna miss that sandwich you ain't had in months. And you're gonna say, you know what? Just put the chip in my hand, man. Let me get the chip in my hand. And that's gonna be your ass, Jake. You so-called nigga Latino Native Americans, man. If you take the mark of the beast or about the microchip, then hey, you're gonna get your ass nuked, man. Nuked to pieces. You know? You're gonna be nuked to radioactive ash, man. That's gonna be the that's gonna settle everything. Who's down with the system and who's not with the system, with the beast system. If they rolled out the digital ID over there, when are they gonna drop it over here? Is the next question. We can't be too far off. You know? Hey man, we could be out of here in 2, 3 years, man. We could be out of here in 2, 3 years, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I'm ready to get the fuck out of here. Who wants to see a damn dope head just hanging out on the streets? Driving down the street, fucking potholes all over the place. Graffiti all over the damn place. Who wants to live like this? This ain't even living, man. The man, the Lord, the elect. We're looking for something way better than this, man. This place is done. Everything's expensive. Inflation through the roof. Hyperinflation on the way. Inflation, hyperinflation. Eventually, no food is coming. Eventually the famine's gonna hit. It's all about design, man. By Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Got something in store for this place. Most gonna put out his best work on Babylon, man. No, we're not gonna have that in the kingdom of heaven. Just ain't gonna have random fucking bugged out people out of their mind just hanging out on the corner, rambling to themselves, drugged up. That ain't gonna fly in the kingdom. No, we're gonna take care of that. You know, it ain't gonna be no women rights in the kingdom of heaven, man. You have a right to get her ass in that kitchen, man, or in that bed, either one. They're gonna be barefooted and pregnant in the kingdom, man. Not just hanging out, drugged out of their goddamn mind. Lord, Yahweh Shai is gonna set this place back right. No, he's gonna make it right side up. You know, that's gonna go away. Every woman gonna have a man. You know, every woman gonna have a man in the kingdom of heaven. It ain't gonna be no single women in the kingdom. You're gonna be married to a man, and that's gonna be it. You're just gonna be hanging out on the corner, fucking rambling. How's a damn kite? You know, higher than giraffe pussy, man. Talking out of your damn skull. That ain't gonna fly in the kingdom of heaven, man. And you women, you gonna have to share a man. That's all it is. You know, we're gonna go back to the old days, man. Where a man had as many women he can have. You know, you going back to that day. You know, it ain't gonna be no wickedness in the kingdom. You know, ain't gonna be no dope selling in the kingdom. You know, none of that shit. You know, we ain't gonna do none of that in the kingdom. You niggas gonna be righteous in the kingdom, man. And you heathens ain't gonna do it either. We're gonna have y'all under control, man. Y'all gonna be under our feet. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord's coming to set this shit right. And we getting closer and closer every day. You know? And we're gonna take care of you accordingly, man. According to the law. If you buck up, hey, off with your head, man. Off with your head. Let's go on. You know? So that's why we want the kingdom so bad, man. You know, we tired of wickedness. Tired of seeing our people bugged out of their mind, immersed in iniquity. You know? We fucking tired of looking at that shit, man. But you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, that's all you want to do, man. Yeah. You know? The Lord's gonna show up. See?
You like
They
that,
say-
man. Shake back, brother. I
The
need you,
Lord say
bitch.
He gonna pull up.
When I get the new shit, I got you too, bro.
You know, the Lord say He's gonna pull up. Let's go on. Revelation 3 and 10. Matter of fact, let's get into Jacob's trouble. Let's switch it up. Revelation 13 and 18. Let's start at 16. Fuck it, 15. Revelation 13 and 15. And He had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So yeah, if you don't worship the image of the beast, you want to say, you know what, I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to get into this new society that's coming up, this new world order. You know? So if you don't want to take it, pretty much being in this economy, man, a productive member of society. You're saying you don't want to do that, and you're gonna get put to death, man. You know. Verse 16. He calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So yeah, the mark of the beast is already here, man. You know, Elon Musk already got a brain chip for your ass, man. You know, if you wanna go down there and get hooked up with one, he'd be glad to put one in for you, man. But the thing is, it ain't made mandatory yet. There's a day that's coming, it's gonna be mandatory. You wanna eat, you know? You want lights back on, water flowing again. You want to get your fix, you know? You're going to say, come on down and get this chip. That's if you even make it that far, you know? You know, if you make it to that part, it ain't going to be pretty. You're going to be fucked up if you make it to that stage. You might have a damn arm missing, eye missing, you know? You're going to be fucked up into that stage. But let's say you make it through all that. Jacob's trouble, the economy collapsing, all the fucking the Civil War, race war. Let's say you make it through all that, and you make it to the chipping station. You get the chip. All right, you get the chip. All right, now. So you get the chip, and then make it to that stage. The Lord really had it out, because He really hated you. So if you make it to that stage, you know, and that's when He gonna send the nukes, man, to burn you to a damn crisp. This World War III goes hot, it's gonna go nuclear, you know. You know, it's gonna go nuclear. You know, if nukes get shot off, and your ass still alive in that day, you gonna know right then you done fucked up, man. You know? When you look in that sky, you see fucking sun get blackened out, numbered missiles getting ready to come down. That's your ass, man. That's your ass, Mr. Postman, right? Verse 17, that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So yeah, you ain't gonna be able to buy or sell, do nothing without this mark, this RFID microchip that's getting ready to drop. You ain't gonna be able to do nothing without it. You know, you're gonna have to make a decision, man. You get it to eat and live for a little bit, or you don't take it and just down the spot, man. You know? So that's something you gotta think about. You know, you die right then, get your head cut off, or you take the chip and you live for just a little bit longer, maybe a few months, couple weeks, who knows? And you're dead anyway. But if you don't get the chip, hey, Lord, have mercy on your soul, man. You take it, you know, ain't no coming back from that. No coming back. You know, but as for me, hey, they got to kill me on spot, man. I can't speak for nobody else. I can speak for myself. You know, you got to go ahead and cut my head off, man. You know, this ain't living nowhere. How the fuck is it living? And every time I go to the damn mailbox, it's a damn bill in the mailbox. Man. You know, go to the store, this shit high, that shit high. You know, utility steadily going up. You got to be stuck to one woman. This ain't living. You know, I can't hardly go a day without having to buy something. Man. So like, oh, take a vacation. All right, I'll take a vacation. I still got to come back to work. I still got to work for somebody else. So I got to work for, for my person, man. How's that live? You know, I got to cut my shit off. You know, I'm checking out. Y'all can have this shit. You know. You know, being on the fucking bottom. How's that living? So let's go on. Verse 18. Oh yeah, you gotta sit here and listen to shit talk about black fatigue. You gotta hear that. You know, constantly getting the short end of the stick. Fuck all that. Revelation 13 and 18. Here's the wisdom. Let him that hate, so like it. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. What is the number of the men? And his number is 603, 4, 6. Child side stigma. Or that barcode is gonna be on that RFID microchip, man. Starts with 666. And your ass gonna have it at you, man. So you're gonna be stigmatized with this, man. You're gonna be branded, so to speak, a digital brand. You're gonna be nothing more than a damn like a cow out here, man. You know how the cows get tagged with the ear? You know, got the tag in the ear. You're gonna have a tag in your hand or in your forehead, man. You know, so we're gonna see who's right and who's wrong, man. You know? So hey man, that I might close out on that. You know, so we getting in soft martial law, man. And these same troops you see in these cities are gonna be the same ones lining your ass up to take you down there to get your ass chipped. Hell, I even seen a video. You know how they tell you stuff in the movies. You know, they had the military assisting in, you know, getting your ass chipped. You know, they had the soldiers with the gun. They brought the lady out there. You know, they were bringing her up to the guillotine. You know, I don't know. I see if I can find that. That's an old movie, and they showed you how they gonna do it. They gonna ask you gonna get it or you ain't. Like what's the name? You gonna do this the easy way or gonna do this the hard way? You know, you gonna take the chip or you don't. And if you don't want to take it, then there's the guillotine line over there, man. And I'll be like, point me right to it. You know, point me right to it. You know, if I even make it that far. Because nobody knows what the Lord got in store for them. Only thing I'm told to do is stay faithful to the end. Man. Whatever my end is, just stay faithful. Yes, Lord. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. It's getting late. Hey, before I get out of here, I'm gonna give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Kakadash, Shalom.